See, when they first got here, they said, well, you cannot have a slave as a Christian to be a slave. So that was a part of the early laws in the colonies. Well, they decided to change that. And said, no, well, that don't work, that you can be a Christian and have been baptized and you can still be a slave. So the church capitulated on that whole point and that whole idea. The first people that came over, they were indentured servants. They served somewhere 5, 7, 10 years. Then they got freedom dues, a little bit of money, got some land, got a farm and got a horse. They went off and be private citizens. And the first blacks were indentured servants. But after a while, tobacco needed a large labor force, followed by cotton needed a large labor force, followed by rice that needed a large labor force. So they said, wait a minute. What we'll do is that if you're black, then you are a permanent indentured. You are a permanent servant for your life. And that's how slavery came into existence here. It came out of economic expediency, a way of maintaining a labor force to drive the economy, to take care of the people. So guys, we got to understand that we've always been up against these forces, but there were counter forces trying to say, no, that's not right. That's not fair. And there are Christian people saying, well, that's not consistent with biblical Christianity. And so we had movements to abolish slavery, and with the 13th Amendment being passed to permanently end slavery in the United States, and the 14th Amendment guaranteeing the right of citizenship to everybody born here, and the 15th Amendment, the right to vote initially to black men along with white men. So there's always been people trying to do the right thing. There's always been forces trying to move the country toward justice. I mean, white people, Thaddeus Stevens. Read about some of these people in Congress. When Andrew Johnson, after Lincoln was assassinated, Andrew Johnson basically said, look, just accept slavery and I'll let y'all treat the black people in the way you want to treat them. When he became president, after Lincoln was assassinated in April of '65. But as soon as Congress came back into session in January of 1866, Thaddeus Stevens took control of the Congress and basically forced legislation through to protect black people in the South. Oh, there's always been white people that stood up, with power that stood up to try to protect the slave. This is part of history people don't understand. So there was a whole Reconstruction, there was a whole 14th Amendment giving the right to citizenship to blacks because Thaddeus Stevenson believed the 1866 Civil Rights Act basically gave black citizenship, but he believed that what would happen is if we get voted out, they will repeal it.